Hey everybody, I'm here in my library and I thought that I would go ahead and shoot the second vlog about the Wintrov Angel, the novel that I'm going to be working on and that hopefully you guys follow along with and read and enjoy as I'm putting it out in different sections. Today I wanted to show you an example of what I was talking about in the last video with the serialization of some of these classic novels. Dickens, Wilkie Collins, Elizabeth Gaskell, so on. Some of these great authors in the 19th century, their novels weren't all published at once. They were published kind of in sections, almost as if it was a sort of a TV show instead of just a one-off movie. And then once the book was published in all of its sections, that would be when it would be republished as a full, complete novel. And that's what I'm planning on doing with Wintrov Angel. Again, the first 4 chapters will be section 1, and they'll be coming out in a couple of months here. But today, I wanted to show you an example from my library of what this would have looked like. So let me see if I can flip the screen here. Can I? Is it possible? Okay, there we go. The joys of technology. That was fun. But this is one of Charles Dickens's novels. I think it was the 3rd novel that he published, called Nicholas Nickleby. A lot of his books are named after characters who have kind of these strange names. That one's not even the weirdest one. If you look on the shelf over here, the Dickens shelf, you can see that he has one book called Martin Chuzzlewit. And then, of course, there's Barnaby Rudge. So a lot of his characters have odd names. But this is Nicholas Nickleby, and this is what the entire book looks like, right? It is, let me see how many pages we have here. About 800 pages or so. Yeah, it ends on page 796. So it's a pretty thick book. I think the last chapter is chapter, oh no, I don't know my Roman numerals very well. Feel free to shame me in the comments. Something, yeah, XV15, but the L, I don't know. Anyway, it's long. But Nicholas Nickleby was initially serialized. And here is a scanned reproduction, a facsimile of what that looked like. At least a section of it. So you would get something like this. Here's the cover page. So the Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby. And this is number 11, right? So this would have been the 11th installment of the book that came out. You can see that the price here was 1 shilling. I assume that was pretty cheap for the time. But you can see it was published by Chapman and Hall, which were the publishers that Dickens was originally going with before he ended up with his own literary magazine. But when you turn the page, you expect to see Nicholas Nickleby. But no, you see several pages of different sorts of advertisements. The Sporting Almanac. Let me see. There were a couple funny ones here. Different books that you could get, Tales of Chivalry, writer's guides. I guess people back then wanted to know how to write well, too. Maybe that would be helpful if I could find an old copy of it in print or something. History of Napoleon, Songs and Ballads. So these are more stories that they're advertising, but you can see that there are products for sale, too. So china, glass, earthenware, lamps, trays, different things that you can buy, different decanters and pitchers and things like that. So there were advertisements in these serialized stories. What? Ornamental hair? The public are requested to inspect the extensive and elegant assortment of all kinds of ornamental hair at Ross & Sons. weaving silk, importing, I don't know, is this for like wigs or something? Dress coats, a bunch of weird stuff. Rubber galoshes, an 8-day clock if you want one. Hey, here we go. I could use some of that. I'm sure it works. But then we would get to chapter 34. Yeah, I knew that Roman numeral. Chapter 34 of Nicholas Nickleby is where it would start off. And this had illustrations. Dickens had an illustrator that he liked to use for his stories. And we would get, let me see. This was the next one. Yeah, number 12. So it would end with, each installment would end with different notices and advertisements as well. Writing inks, stuff like that. But I'm trying to see how many chapters he had per installment. So this is the last chapter, and that was chapter 36. So 34, 35, 36, 37. So 4 chapters. Hey, cool. I didn't actually plan that, but that's what I'm planning on doing as well. 4 chapters per segment. And then, yeah, he would just release these month after month. You can see the advertisements are a little bit different each time. Here's issue number 15. And that would be picking up with chapter 46, maybe? But that's what the serialized novel looked like. And then again, once it was all published, once all of the sections were out, they would reissue it as a complete novel. So I just thought that that was a cool little visual from the past to look at. And again, that's what I'm planning on doing with my novel, with the Wintrov Angel. There's not going to be any advertisements, probably. I'm not sure if any companies would care to advertise with some random guy who's trying to publish a book and doesn't have a name like Charles Dickens or anybody. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I just wanted to show you guys that Nicholas Nickleby facsimile. All right, I will see you all in the next vlog. Stay tuned.